You're raising people's antennas to possible nefarious purposes and spoiling the quality of life of thousands of people. I believe in private property owner rights just like anyone else. I don't believe I have the right to harm my neighbors.
And I think that they should have the right to preserve their property the way that they see fit.
A packed Whitley County Plan Commissioners meeting tonight, all over a possible CAFO. A proposed rezoning was on the agenda tonight to take 2 parcels from agriculture to agriculture production.
WANE 15's Courtney Grimm has been at the meeting since 7 tonight. She joins us live from Whitley County. So Courtney, what was the meeting like?
Dirk, Taylor, as you can see just as the top of the newscast there, so many people came out to the meeting tonight to express their opposition for the rezoning. You could see people clapping in support or just making expressions throughout the meeting to express exactly how they felt. You know, some came out with shirts that said "Say No to CAFO" on them to continue that expressions, but regardless if they were for or against the rezoning, everyone came up to the podium like you just saw and expressed exactly how they felt towards the rezoning. Now here shortly you can see a complete turnout of the meeting, and it was standing room only throughout. Many overflow rooms are also throughout the entire building that were also filled with people. Now the applicant for the rezoning spoke in the beginning of the petition, and they claim that they're just going to continue to farm on that land and want to protect the current farmland. They're saying with no intent of putting a CAFO on those 2 parcels. Now a few speakers also spoke in support of that family, saying they think they truly want to preserve that farmland. But with that being said, most people disagreed with that statement, and the majority of speakers, as you saw, spoke in opposition of the rezoning, and they brought up many fears, whether that was their health, their value of the property that they do have, and the fact that future owners could then turn it into a CAFO later down the road. And some also asked for a written commitment from the applicant to say this wouldn't happen.
This rezoning, it has nothing to do with confined feeding. It is about protecting that agriculture land and preserving it and allowing the county, when they plan things, to see it as that.
Even though the petitioner has suggested that she doesn't have any intent right now, right, to do so. However, that doesn't promise what the future holds, right? Should she decide to sell the land, her children decide to sell the land, it completely opens the door for the ability to have Class 2 and even beyond Class 3 confined animal feeding facility right down the street.
Before the meeting, board members also presented a slideshow educating the public, saying that the current zoning that the plot of land is on now already allows a CAFO to be built on it as well. Now, as the meeting did start at 7 o'clock tonight, they did set a stop time right at 11, so people are now coming out of the building as that has now ended. But I will say the first rezoning petition did not reach a favorable or unfavorable vote by the Plan Commission, so that will move on to county commissioners with neither of those, with them being the final destination for the final vote. We're live here at the Whitley County Government Center. I'm Courtney Grimm, WANE 15 News.
Courtney, for your live coverage there. One